This is Mr. Hanna and welcome to What the Format. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go over some specific problems as opposed to an actual concept. So this is more of a problem solving example video. Why am I doing this? Well, this is a time of year where a lot of students are finishing out their school year. They have a lot of tests coming up and they feel lost. They don't know what to do. They don't even know where to start when they look at a problem. It's easier just to guess the answer, move on, and just hope for the best. And it seems like that's a strategy adopted by a lot of students because they really just don't know how to learn. I've been trying to help that with the videos, hopefully, having the videos as a tool to watch and rewatch, slow things down, see them again. But I notice a lot of students aren't even taking the time to watch videos anymore, unless they're on TikTok or YouTube Shorts and they're real quick videos they can watch in 20 or 30 seconds. And quite frankly, that's dulling their brains and making it hard. So if you're hard to learn. So if you're one of the students watching this video, I appreciate it. I hope the videos are helping. Hope this video helps. I want to show you how to attack a problem. So here's an example problem that you might see, because in tests, they don't like to just do simple problems as much. They do a few, but they like to mix them in with the longer problems. Those are usually what the students struggle with, and they also usually determine how well the student does. Getting the easy ones right helps at least keep from failing miserably, but they aren't enough to really push you to where you want to go. So here's an example problem. Let's say I have a triangle. Now normally with a triangle, okay, the height is going to be vertical right here. And the height is going to be from a vertex, it's the dimension that's perpendicular to a side. They don't like to do usual. They like to mix it up. So they might do the height this way. Now the reason why I say that is because students aren't used to looking there. How do I know it's the height? Well, that's perpendicular. The line, or the dimension that's perpendicular, that starts at a vertex, that's perpendicular to another side, is the height. Well, I could have drawn the height here or here. There's three possible ways to do it. Now, let's say that's x plus 2. Let's call that x plus 5. X plus, that'd be the longer side, 7. So maybe make that x plus 6. All right. So now the trick is what do I do with those? Well, let's say they want you to find the perimeter. So they're going to tell you that the perimeter equals some number. Okay. So let's see. We'll say it's 33, and I'll pick some unit, centimeters. The unit doesn't really matter except for your final answer. So when you're doing the problem, what am I looking at? Well, first thing, they tell you the perimeter, they'll either say P equals, and a lot of students don't know what P stands for, or they'll say, hey, the perimeter of the triangle is. They'll actually write out the words. The perimeter of the triangle is, find the height. Well, to find the height, I've got to find X. Yes? So it's really kind of like three problems, right? I got to set up an equation. That's problem 1. If my equation's wrong, I'm in trouble. Problem 2, then I got to solve the equation for X. And problem 3, I got to plug X in. And that's not short. That's not going to take 30 seconds. For some kids who get it real quick and they can diagnose it, yes, but for most students who aren't really sure what to do, it's not a 30-second problem. You actually have to stop and think. Much easier to just do what? Not good, is it? So let's talk about what we would do. The perimeter of a triangle is the sum of all the sides. Okay, so the perimeter is actually equal to x plus 5. That's one side. The other side is x plus 7. That's the other side. The other side is x plus 6. Now, one of the common problems students struggle with is, well, what order do I put them in? With addition, if you will recall, looking back at properties you've learned, the commutative property or the associative property, it says the order that you add numbers in doesn't matter, as long as you just add all the numbers together. So I could have put x plus 7 here, and then x plus 6, x plus 5. I can put them in the order I want. I'm mentioning that because I've seen that paralyze students. They don't even know where to start. Now, since P is what? 33, I now have an equation where I can write equal to 33 there. That's problem 1. If you do not set this up correctly, or get lost or stuck, or you throw the x plus 2 in there because you're thinking you just add up everything, and you're not really understanding, that leads to problems. And of course, if you throw in that X, you'll probably get an answer, and that'd be your first answer choice, a multiple choice test. You don't even know you did something wrong. So now what do? Well, this is where combining like terms comes in. You have to be able to simplify this. You have to recognize you have 1, 2, 3 X's. So that's 3X. Now I've got 5 plus 7, 12 plus 6, which is what? 18. Now once you get to this point, you're solving a two-step equation. All this other stuff is extra stuff that they throw into tests. This is why a lot of students are fine if you start here, but they're not fine if I start at the beginning and phrase the problem. Okay, so if you're struggling with these kinds of things and you're seeing how I do it and walk through it, go back and rewatch the video. Ask yourself, okay, how did Mr. Hanna know this? Okay, well, I looked up, or I was taught what the perimeter of a triangle was. If you don't know what the perimeter area of a shape is, maybe it's a good time for you to stop the video and go on Google and write down all the different perimeter and area shapes, because they could do the same problem with a rectangle or a trapezoid or a parallelogram. And obviously, if you don't know what the formula is or how to set it up, you can't finish the problem. And most students just don't pay attention to that stuff. They saw it in class, it looked easy, but that's because they didn't know what they were going to face. They're not prepared for the difficulty. Now from here, what do? We go minus 18. Minus 18, we're just, once we get to the solving process, so this was the simplified process. We were doing forward PEMDAS, we just did the addition and subtraction. Notice there was no multiplication here. They didn't give us any distributive property to do. They didn't give us any exponents to do. We could just add the x's together, add the numbers together, okay? Then we could just go right into reverse PEMDAS. So now that's going to give us 3x equals 15, okay, because these canceled. Now the inverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3, and we get x equals 5. Now, we're not done, however. Remember, they wanted the height. So you have to remember to take the 5 back in and say the height equals x plus 2, which is now 5 plus 2, which is now 7 what? 7 centimeters, because it's a dimension. And there you go. That's how you solve this kind of problem. Now, I've had a lot of practice with this. It took me a long time to learn to just slowly think through the problem, not rush, not try to see the answer, just take it a step at a time. A lot of my videos, I mention that. Well, here's an example of how to do that. I'm really hopeful that a problem like this will help you, because they could have given me the area here. Now the area is a completely different situation, because we would have had to take 1/2 the base times the height. I'm going to show you that in the next video so you can see it, but you'll recognize this was a linear equation. We just got to a nice easy two-step linear equation. And I say this is easy, hopefully for you this is. If you're struggling with this, that means you haven't kept up with your math skills and you're in trouble. Because this is the kind of stuff they expect you to be able to do, like tying your shoe or brushing your teeth, turning off your alarm clock, signing into your phone. It should be just second nature. I'm discovering, unfortunately for a lot of students, even though it should be, it isn't. Where are you lost? This is the part where you have to ask yourself, what am I lacking and how do I fix that? Hopefully my videos are giving you tools to help that. That's why I have the email with the format at hotmail.com. If there's a question you have or a concern you have or something that you've been struggling with, send me examples. I'll be happy to do videos to show you how to do it, and maybe with enough repetition something will click like it did with me. Okay, I failed my first term of algebra. I had to fight long and hard to get to the point where I could do stuff like this, but once it clicked and I realized how to do it and everything kind of made sense to me in Algebra 2, higher level math hasn't been a real problem for me since. Okay, don't get me wrong, there's still some problems I run into. They're tough, maybe even a few here or there that I can't solve, but when you can solve 95 out of 100 problems, you're probably okay. That's about where I'm at. So anyway, this has been Mr. Hanna with What the Format. Thank you for watching, and happy math.